A bright sunny day at the Healer house, and Bluey and Bingo decide to have a treasure hunt in the old closet. They rummage through boxes of forgotten things, giggling over dusty relics. Bluey stumbles upon a strange item, an ancient hourglass carved with images of shadows and eyes, and the sand inside sparkles golden as if alive. "Look, Bingo, it's a magical hourglass!" exclaims Bluey, turning it over. "Let's play time travelers." The sand begins to flow, but instead of a usual stream, it sparkles, and the air in the closet grows heavy, the lamp flickering dramatically, casting long shadows on the walls. The sisters carry the hourglass to the room and the game begins. They imagine turning back time, returning to past adventures. But at the first turn, reality distorts, the room darkens, though daylight still shines outside, and they find themselves in an alternate version of their home. In this reality, fears from the past come alive. Shadows on the walls form figures of long-forgotten monsters from dreams, and their parents, Bandit and Chili, look pale, whispering, "You shouldn't have touched that." Bingo feels a chill as the sand in the hourglass turns black, and time loops. One moment they are at a picnic in the past where food comes alive and crawls, the next in the future where the house collapses under dramatic red lighting. As the game continues, the nightmare grows. Each turn of the hourglass plunges the family deeper into alternate realities where fears materialize. Bluey sees her favorite toys turn into glowing-eyed predators, while Bingo faces shadow versions of herself, whispering secrets and blaming mistakes. "This isn't a game," Bluey murmurs, but the sand doesn't stop. Time accelerates and the house fills with suspense. Lamps flash, shadows stretch like hands, and a voice echoes from the hourglass. "Your fears are your past and your future." The parents try to intervene, but caught in the time loop they forget who they are, becoming part of the illusion. Tension peaks as the hourglass turns itself, and the family finds themselves in a dark reality where all their fears, loss, loneliness, darkness, come alive under dramatic lighting with shadows dancing like in a theater. "Take us back!" shouts Bingo, but the sand spills faster. At the last moment, Bluey shatters the hourglass. Sand scatters, light returns, and reality stabilizes. The ominous finale. Shards of the hourglass lie on the floor, but one grain still moves, whispering, "Time is not forgotten, it will return." The screen fades to the sound of dripping sand, leaving an echo of ticking clocks. There's a lost Bluey episode known to very few. It's called The Sandbox. They say it aired once, very early in the morning when almost no one was watching. Then it disappeared, as if it had never existed. The episode started normally. Bluey and Bingo were playing at the park. It was a bright, quiet afternoon. Birds sang softly in the background. Everything felt normal, almost too normal. Bingo found a sandbox tucked away in a far corner, a place they'd never noticed before. It looked old, forgotten. The sand inside was darker, almost gray. Bingo jumped in first. She laughed, digging with her paws. Bluey joined her, smiling. But when she dug deeper, her paw touched something hard, a wooden board, buried just beneath the surface. They brushed the sand away, revealing a trapdoor, old, rotten, with a rusty handle. Bingo giggled and pulled it open. Cold air rushed out from below, a narrow hole, leading into darkness. Bluey hesitated. Bingo, more curious, lowered herself into the hole. Her voice echoed from below. "It's just a tunnel, come on!" Bluey followed. The tunnel sloped down deeper and deeper. Their giggles faded, swallowed by the earth. The walls were dirt, packed and crumbling. And soon, there were doors. Wooden doors, each one slightly ajar. Behind some, empty rooms. Behind others, shadows that moved just out of sight. The further they went, the more the tunnels branched out, twisting, splitting, leading nowhere. Or maybe somewhere they shouldn't go. Bluey called for Bingo. No answer, only a hollow, wet echo. She ran, turning corners blindly. The dirt under her paws grew cold and slick. She passed rooms where toys floated weightlessly. Rooms where faint crying echoed without a source. In one room, she thought she saw herself. A version of her staring back through a dusty window, but it didn't move, didn't blink. It only watched. Finally, after what felt like hours, Bluey found the trapdoor again. She scrambled out, pulling herself back into the daylight. The park was empty, silent. The sky was darker now, bruised purple and gray. Bingo sat alone on the swings, staring at the ground, silent, still. Bluey called to her. Bingo looked up and smiled, but her eyes were wrong, too wide, too dark. The episode ended with Bluey standing frozen, watching her sister swing slowly back and forth. The wind howled. The camera pulled away, rising higher and higher, showing the sandbox from above, and the dozens of small rotted trapdoors, hidden all across the ground. The screen faded to black. No music, only the low sound of something shifting. Deep beneath the earth, the room with the clock. The episode begins at the end of the school day. Bluey, Bingo, Coco, Mackenzie, and Snickers are playing in the schoolyard. The air feels strangely quiet, as if all sounds are muffled. No teachers are in sight. Mackenzie suggests a game of hide and seek. The others eagerly agree. He starts counting out loud, monotone, slow. Bluey runs off alone. Inside the school building, she notices an unfamiliar wooden door down a side hallway, similar to other classroom doors but with a dull brass handle. It wasn't there before. The door is open. Bluey enters. The room is empty. Wooden floor, bare walls. In the center stands an old pendulum clock, black, carved from dark wood. The hands move backward. On the walls hang old photographs. In one, Bingo sits on a swing, her face slightly blurred. In another, Chili stands in the kitchen, eyes closed. In the third, Bluey stands at a window, but behind her there's only darkness, as if the window looks into nothing. From the corner, a soft, even ticking sound. The pendulum swings. Bluey sits down on the floor. She hears footsteps beyond the door, but they don't get closer. They only pace back and forth like someone searching but not daring to come in. She steps out. The schoolyard is empty. Coco stands near a tree, staring off. Snickers sits unmoving. Mackenzie is on a bench. He's watching her. Slowly he turns his head. He says nothing. Bluey walks up to him. He silently points over her shoulder. She turns. It's the same school door she just came through. In the glass, her reflection, but it doesn't mimic her movements. Bluey heads home. The sky darkens quickly. Chili greets her as if nothing happened. Bandit washes dishes. Bingo is drawing. On her paper, a clock. No numbers. Everyone speaks normal phrases, but their tone is wrong, rehearsed, uncertain. As if they're unsure what they're supposed to say. Bluey goes to bed. She looks at her bedside table. The same clock sits there. She doesn't remember bringing it home. In the middle of the night, she wakes up. From the hallway. Tick, tick, tick. She walks down the corridor. The floor beneath her feet sounds dull, heavy. The lights don't turn on. At the end of the hallway, another door. It opens by itself. Inside, the same room. But now the clock is taller, almost as big as Bluey. There are more photographs. In one, the whole family is at the table, but all looking in different directions. The windows behind them are black. In another, Mackenzie stands by the school wall. His face is gone. Only a shape remains. Final shot, the clock. Its hands still move backward. The pendulum hums louder than before. Everything holds still. Black screen. No credits. No music. The series begins as a regular episode. Bluey is at home with Chili, Bandit, and Bingo. But the atmosphere immediately seems a bit strange. It's an overcast day, the house is dark, and no one wants to play. Chili is cleaning the kitchen, Bandit is reading the newspaper, and Bingo is just lying on the couch and being quiet. She looks tired, almost unresponsive. Bluey walks around the house trying to think of something to do. She wanders into the pantry and there's something strange catches her attention. A low wooden door in the wall. It looks very old, like it's 100 years old. Bluey is sure that this door wasn't there before. Curiosity takes over, so she pushes the boxes aside, turns the rusty key sticking out of the lock, and opens the door. Inside is a narrow, dark hallway with a bluish light at the end. Without much thought, Bluey crawls inside. On the other side is the exact same house, only brighter, cleaner, more colorful. Chili, Bandit, and Bingo meet her there, only with one creepy difference. They all have black buttons for eyes. They smile, they act affectionate. Chili immediately suggests Bluey play her favorite game. The Bandit dances like an episode of disco and Bingo laughs louder than usual. Bluey is excited at first. Everything looks like the perfect version of her life. But pretty quickly she notices oddities. First of all, everything in the world is adjusting to her. As soon as she thinks of something, it appears. Second, Bingo is acting a little unnatural. Her smile is too strained. She keeps repeating the same phrase. It's better. Much better. Later, the other Chili tells Bluey that she can stay here forever. But to do that, she needs to, quote, become part of the family. Which means sewing buttons on herself instead of eyes. Bluey is horrified. She realizes this isn't her real family. It's not Chili's, it's not Bandit, and it's not Bingo. She tries to escape but finds only long hallways leading nowhere. The house starts to change. The walls move. The floor becomes viscous. The other bandit doesn't smile now. His body stretches out. His movements become abrupt, unnatural. He speaks in a distorted voice and begins to chase Bluey. Bluey screams, calling for the real Chili, but no one answers. In one of the rooms, she finds Bingo tied up with string. Her eyes are half-sewn buttons. She whispers, "It's not me. Go away, please." Her strength is almost at an end, but Bluey finds a passage back. The same door is still open. She runs towards it, but the other Chili grabs her paw. She's still smiling, but her face starts to blur. "You're not leaving. We're family now forever." Bluey lashes out at the last moment and slips through the door. Bluey wakes up in his bed. The clock reads 3:33. The house looks normal. Everything is in its place. Chili is calling her to breakfast. Bandit is yawning in a chair and Bingo is playing in the living room. Bluey seems to be calming down, but when she jumps off the bed and puts her paw on the floor, she steps on a black button. The series ends abruptly. No credits, just a black screen. And a quiet whisper barely audible in the background noise. "Are you still here?" There's a lost Bluey episode only whispered about. They call it The Staircase That Wasn't There. It aired once, maybe less. Some say it was never meant to air at all. The episode begins like any other. Bluey and Bingo are playing hide and seek in their house. Bandit counts loudly. Chili laughs from the kitchen. Everything feels normal. Until Bluey hides in a new place. A door under the stairs, a door that wasn't there before. It's small, barely big enough for her to crawl through. She hesitates, but Bingo finds her giggling. They both squeeze inside. On the other side, a staircase, leading down, much deeper than the house should allow. The walls are bare concrete. The air smells damp and cold. The steps seem to stretch forever into the dark. Bingo jokes maybe it goes to the center of the earth. Bluey laughs nervously. They descend, step after step. The light behind them fades. The house above seems to vanish. The further they go, the colder it gets, and the darker. Their voices echo strangely. The stairs twist and turn, sometimes leading sideways, sometimes looping. They find doors along the way, small wooden doors, each one slightly ajar. Behind them, things move, shapes, figures they can't quite see. Bingo gets scared. She begs to go back. Bluey agrees. But when they turn around, the staircase behind them looks different. The steps are cracked, broken. The path they came from, gone. Only more stairs leading down. They keep walking. They pass a window set into the stone wall. Outside it shows their house, but wrong. The sky is red, the trees are twisted, no one is there, just emptiness. Bingo starts crying. Bluey promises to find a way back. They keep going, down, always down. Hours seem to pass, days maybe. Their paws hurt, their voices weaken, but the stairs never end. Finally they see another door, this one made of heavy metal. Without thinking they push it open. Behind it, a hallway. Familiar, the hallway of their home, but too quiet, too still. They step inside. The door slams shut behind them. They run to their room. Their beds are there, their toys. But the windows show nothing outside, only endless black. The final scene shows Bluey and Bingo lying in bed, wide-eyed, listening in the distance the sound of slow, heavy footsteps, climbing the stairs, getting closer. The screen fades to black. No music, no voices, only the sound of steps, never stopping.